Hello, welcome to the channel. Now this one's a bit of a follow-up video to the one that I did a couple of weeks ago, which was about rain getting in on the window, the driver door of my Volvo 480. Now I've had some great comments and feedback from the Volvo 480 forum and also on the video, so going to show you what I need to do to solve that, and we'll see if it works. So as you can see, it's a wet, miserable day at the moment. We're getting quite a lot of wet wind and rain, so not being the best of weather. So let's have a look and see if we've got a big puddle down the bottom. And sure enough, yes. And you can actually see it's quite a good indication today of where it's coming in. So it's basically dripping through these gaps and working its way down. So let me get this dried off, and then I'll show you what we can do about it. Certainly less than ideal. It's just soaking all of the car up. So I'm going to get rid of all of this rain that's accumulated, because obviously this is what was causing some of my problems. Because the carpet, you can see the amount of water in there, there's loads. The carpet used to get really wet in here, and obviously that's doing it a lot of damage. It's not good. So it's probably been doing this for quite some time. So let me just continue, get this dried up, and then I'll tell you what's happening. It's better, so it's dried up. Now on to the problem and the information that I got from the group. Now, actually I've just noticed, I wonder if we've got a couple of drops coming in there, whether that's just after opening the door, because it is still a bit rainy out here. But generally what has been, or what I've been told, is that the car is actually designed for rain to come through here, so it's expected to leak past and down. And basically you can see water does hit the bottom of there, and you can see a little hole, which is where it drains away. So it's designed for this to be wet, which is less than ideal, I think, because obviously you've got the electric mirrors, you have the central door locking, the electric windows. I mean, if I show you, there is an electrical control box that sits in the door, and that can't be ideal. Actually, as I've just done that, I can see water draining down on the inside of this, so that's not great. I need to find where that box can live, where it's not going to get constant water poured into it and further damage. So for now I think I'm actually going to keep it hanging out like that. Then there is also the bit down here, which is where the speaker goes. Now, again, thanks to the guys on the Volvo 480 forum, I'll put a link down the bottom because they have been great helping out with this, but there should be a plastic casing to keep the speaker safe and dry. But other than that, you can just make out, you can see the remnants of the plastic covers that used to go over all of these, that used to act as a waterproof and a vapor membrane, protecting the interior, the inside of the doors, that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recreate that with some sheets of plastic. Now I have some that came off a mattress actually, so it's reasonably thick, and what I'm thinking is using that and duct tape to make up each of these panels. That should help. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you the results shortly. I've come inside out of the rain. It's not very pleasant outside today, but need to get this job done. Now I'll show you what I've done. You can see I've just used duct tape. I need to run some more along there, but this isn't a finished product because I do need to do work on the window motor. That needs replacing, so that window is just held in with the force of that at the moment. Now actually I've just noticed, looks like this might be starting to work, but you can see raindrops working their way in, and these would have been splashing straight in. Now the problem I can think of though is the plastic is on the inside and it's going to accumulate and seep down inside my duct tape. So actually I think something that I've done further along might be the better solution, which is, I'll just open the door. You'll see there I've fastened it along the top, but I've slotted it down on the inside, so in theory the rain should run down inside, and I'm starting to think that might be the better way of doing this, to allow the rain to run down inside, because I can already see rain is running down and it's going to get stuck there. So I think I'm going to undo that and modify it right now, because it's just going to accumulate, I think, and that's not going to do what I want. So let's just try putting the plastic on the inside. I'm thinking something like that. So although it's not acting as a vapor membrane at that point, what it should be doing is diverting the rain down and into that channel that I showed you earlier to drain out the bottom of the door. So I think now that that's in place, what we do is, like I say, it's been raining outside quite a bit, so this is all rain from when I had the door open. I was working outside now. Dry all of this up. You can see actually where I have attempted rust conversion here, and obviously I didn't get all of it out. It started to creep back through, but that's where this has come from. That's where the problem has been for quite some time, I suspect. And now it's just a matter of seeing whether this has resolved the issue, and whether the water is going to run on the inside and stop getting a puddle inside my car, because everywhere else is reasonably dry. Now granted, I am inside a carport here, the carport that I built. You can just about see it, but it finishes about in line with the front windscreen, so that's why you'll see this window and this side of the car gets quite a bit of rainfall hitting it. If we compare over to the other side, the door card and everything is in place, so you can see where I mean for the speaker. That's where there needs to be a plastic inset, but the rest of it, it's this sort of cardboard foam composite type makeup, which will suffer quite badly from rain and water ingress. Now I don't see any, there's a little bit of rain on that window. I don't see any rain coming in on this side, but I do think the next job will be, let's take that door card off as well, see if the membrane is in place back there. If it's not, I think we do the same job. I think if it is, possibly renewing it would be a good idea. In terms of leaks everywhere else, you can see the sunroof does have rain on it, and everywhere around here is all dry. There's no seeming leaks around that, so I'm quite pleased with that. Doesn't seem like there's any leaks anywhere else. Now, just whilst we've been talking, I am seeing rain coming in here, and I am seeing it drip its way down my new plastic and into the bottom of the door. So I think what I'm going to do is leave that a little bit and we'll come back and take a look, shall we? Of course, the other big area of problem where rain gets in is along the rear, along the boot, because, well, it's not the best of designs, because obviously rain comes over the roof there, and you can probably see the problem. That's where the electrical connections come through from inside the car and then onto the boot for the rear heated window, the stop light and the wiper, obviously. And that's a good place where water can get straight in and into the roof lining, but also it will run along this channel down here. And if I zoom out a little bit, you'll see it actually runs along the plastic of the light cluster and along the middle here, and basically it just has to find its own way out. And as you can imagine, sometimes the way it finds its way out is through the seal of the lights and onto the inside of the boot. So if I just open the boot, now if you remember, I have replaced the rubber seal on mine, so it's a much tighter fit. That's to try and avoid it coming around on the inside, but it still runs down. Now this one has been resealed, so hopefully it'll be okay, because these are very brittle. The plastic, you can see, I'm actually going to have to clean these up a bit, but the plastic is very brittle, and if it snaps and cracks completely, these can be several £100 each to replace. They are very difficult to get hold of. Now there is a company in France that are producing replicas, but again, very, very expensive, so want to avoid that. But the rain coming in, you can actually see the damage that it's done. Now I have rust converted a lot of this, but it does just eat away at this, and then it comes down the inside and causes all sorts of problems. So you can see I've got all the light cluster panels apart, and hopefully the work that I've done there has solved it. You can see I've kind of taken this apart where the connectors go in, because I'd like to come up with a better solution, a different way of doing this. So if you do have any suggestions on this, you can see that's the rubber grommet where the wires go into the cabin of the car, and you can see this is where they kind of break out from the boot itself. It's a horrendous design, to be honest, and whether those are actually working or not, time will tell. But if you can think of a better way of doing this, that's something that I would like to kind of almost remanufacture and come up with an alternative. You can see as I go to close it, it kind of pinches the rubber, so it's not ideal. So that's the other water point. So I think let's have a little look on the inside. You can see it's been raining for a while. I've left it about half an hour. We'll have a look and see what we've got on the inside. Well, other than the raindrops from when I've opened and closed the door, I'm not seeing anything. We just climb inside. Looking down here, it looks like my plastic has been doing its job. You can see the rain that's been running down the inside and is staying on the inside. I don't see any on the base of the door or around the trim panels there. Over on this side, same sort of story. Now I do see a few drips of water on this plastic, but I think that was from when the door was open, and so are all these drips. So hopefully that has done what I wanted. It'd be really good if that has helped solve the problem, because I am a bit worried about water getting in, because I haven't put the interior of this car back together really for that reason. I need to get that water problem solved, make sure I'm happy, and then we can put the interior back in and actually start to clean up the interior of the car, because it's a good looking interior. It's a nice car on the inside, and I'd like to start to get it resembling a bit more of a car inside, because we've got a lot of the main welding and the exterior work done. So let's try and move on a bit. So join me in the next video. Hopefully, if the water leaks have been done, we might manage to start putting the interior of the car together. So I'll see you in the next video.